Hello and welcome everyone to another session from Will to Play. I'm Will Harris, your host during this wonderful session, and this wonderful session is, of course, as we all know, the Revit families, rockstar families. I wonder what we're talking about today. We are talking about, of course, Session 6, growing your families. We could also call this changing windows. I don't know. Essentially, over this session, we're going to talk about two things. We are going to talk about the concept of when you should do windows, or when you should use specific family files, when you shouldn't use those files, how to make your project move as quick as possible is the goal, really. And in this process of talking about all that stuff, we'll deal with all these concepts, and the final product of this session will be actually a window, and we're going to use that window as our example. So let's go ahead and get moving through here. So again, we're going to talk about placeholders and expound on just what a placeholder can and cannot be, and what's good ideas and bad ideas for placeholders. Of course, during this session, you'll learn how to use content that is absolutely critical. Yeah, you need, at some point, you're going to need a doorknob. Yeah, at some point, you're going to need to know exactly how the window trim looks in detail. But you don't need that all of the time. So the real rule here is that if you're never going to see this in 1/8" scale, then you're never going to have to actually model it. Now, if you get good, which I'd like everybody to do, or else my goal here is completely not met, I would love to have everyone be able to do those details as detail components, because that's what a detail should be. That's where the details should come from. Okay. Exciting purposes and promises today. Promises, besides these that you can see in front of you, are going to be that the session is going to possibly run a little long. I'm changing my presentation style a little bit, just so you can understand what I'm about to do. We're going to change it into a lecture. This is the lecture side, and we will have a lecture video archived and recorded, and then about 45 minutes in, I hope I get there, we transfer into the lab side, as in, here is the lab, here is the lecture. Let me go ahead and show you now. Here is the lab, right? Well, this is nothing new. This looks like the instruction manuals that we've always gotten. Yep, Will, you're right. Those are the instruction manuals that you've always gotten. The next step is, well, the lecture. I'm going to start giving you guys all of these lecture notes as a PDF. And in fact, if you hold on just a minute, I will put up a link where you can pull that PDF down. Just give me 1 minute, please. But if you notice, it's pretty much exactly the same thing as what we have in, when we're dealing with what? The PowerPoint presentation. So basically what I'm giving you is a Word document based off the PowerPoint presentation. Does that sound awesome? Would you like to raise your hand if you think that's a good idea? Yeah?
Awesome.
So I'm trying to upload the PDF right now, and everybody's unmuted. So while I'm taking my little time here, I just want to check. Everybody can hear me, right?
Yes.
Everybody can talk back. Everybody can hear each other. No problems?
Yeah.
Right? No problems at all. We're all good. Yeah.
All good.
Okay. If you hold on just a second, I will have these lecture notes up so that everybody can grab them. You may want to open up a URL or a Windows Explorer or some sort of way to get to the web. And in about a minute, I will pop up something very cool. And you'll be able to download this live. And these will be uploaded, by the way. I'll have them all uploaded. And the site's going to change a little bit. I've been trying to get everything ready, and it took me a minute longer than I thought. And it would. Okay. Back to the PowerPoint presentation. And new slide. You can see what I'm doing now. This is fine. Nothing new or exciting here. There's that. Layout. Boom. Okay, so that's where the notes are going to be. So just type those into a URL, and you will have those notes. And they're only going to be up there while this session is live, so go ahead and grab those down. And the instruction manual, I'll put that up again at the very end. You don't want to try to follow the instruction manual while I go through that. Everybody got that typed out? We're good? No questions, thoughts, comments? You know what else I could have also done was this, and or I could post it somehow. Anyway. Moving on. Well, of course, during this lecture side, by the way, we have now transformed into a lecture lab class. Yay! This is the lecture side. We're going to talk about topics, show examples, and then the lab is the step-by-step creation of the families. So, bear with me if we have massive problems, which we shouldn't. I just clicked through all the stupid stuff, so. We understand the idea of placeholders, right? We don't have a problem so much with placeholders. The new design process is what I want your brains to get around, is the idea that at design development, at preliminary design, you're using as much as possible default content. And then by much as possible, I mean by whatever is needed to sell the project. Would we all agree with that, or do we have any disagreements on that? No? Okay. Again, but this is what is needed to sell the project. So I'm not saying don't customize stuff. I'm saying only customize what you need to when you need to. Okay. This concept, this overall concept of growing families. One is the idea of placeholders, and now I'm going to take this idea of placeholders and expound on it as this idea of growing families. So a placeholder, normally people think of placeholders as a, it's a door. It's sitting in the wall at the right location. Well, then there's also the idea that there's a door as the placeholder, and then as I move through my project development, I decide, hey, I need to add a vision panel to this door. So I add a vision panel to that door family. I've grown the family. Now, not necessarily that I'm saying this is a good idea for everyone to do. Not necessarily that I'm saying this is a bad idea for everyone to do. I'm just showing you an example. Again, this is the lecture side. So I have a placeholder there. Some people think about a placeholder as though, oh, there's another wall coming in on this side, and I want to make sure that there's always the distance between this and this is always going to be a minimum of 6 inches. Or, yeah, we good? We all understand that, and then I lock it in. Okay, yay, I have a door, and it's doing its function as a placeholder, meaning that as this wall moves, first, the door always stays there, and secondly, no matter what type of door or door family I choose, the important location stays the same. Everybody understand this concept of placeholder, right? Yes, yep. Brian. Brian is really.
Hey, Will, are you?
Yes.
Sorry, are you showing things in Revit right now, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, everybody raise their hand.
There we go.
You really didn't miss anything. All I did was draw these 3 walls and a door.
Sure.
Dimension and constrain. Sorry, I paused it a second ago and I forgot to unpause. It happens. Okay, but we understand this idea of placeholders. Now let's expound on this as though we are growing the family. So what I can do is open up the family itself and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to throw a void extrusion in there, and I'm not going to be able to do it from this view. Why? We all know, because I'm in a 3D view. I need to go to the front view. And now I need to make sure that I'm in the right work plane. So I just stopped my solid form or form void, and I'm going to start again, and automatically sets this as the reference plane once I say what? Oh man, this is horrible. Right? Because I'm trying to do a void form or a void extrusion and I'm having problems. Because, well, what? The only reference plane that I have named in here is the level. None of the other reference planes are actually